What's up, nerds? Goz Master here, sporting Cardinals gear. Go Cardinals with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest, Nissa of Shadowed Boughs. Ooh, fancy. Today we get, unbox, level up, and play with our first test of Nissa of the Shadowed Boughs. Very excited to actually get this open and going. Let's jump right into it. Let's get our discount. Let's pick it up. Normally it'd be $6.50, but if you're a member of VIP, chasing cards, she's only $6.20. Let's see what we get with it as we get it. Got a bunch of cards, probably nothing new, but immediately we get our first deck. We have all the cards for, so we get some runes. Second deck, expert deck, we get 5 pinks. Cool, so we get that. And then third is we have 20 pinks. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock all of the stuff. I'm gonna level her up. We'll get to that and let you guys know what it's about. And max level. All right, so let's see what she can do. 117 life points, pretty good. Max level, our first ability, Shadowed Bough. Create a Shadowed Bough token, then convert 2 gems to green, then 2 gems to black. Shadowed Bough token is, it's a land, 3 token with 3 shield. Landfall green, gain 3 loyalty, then your land supports gain 1 shield. Okay. Landfall black, your opponent loses 3 life. Each of these effects can trigger up to 2 times per turn. Okay? Neat. Bitter Connection, create a Hissing Quagmire token. Then if you control 2 or less creatures, create 6 swamp tokens, otherwise draw 2 cards. All right. So the Hissing Quagmire is a emblem land, so I don't think it's destroyable. 3. At the beginning of your turn, convert 2 gems to black and 2 gems to green. Okay? Activate 1/2 turn. Your first creature gets +2/+2 and gains Death Touch and Menace until the beginning of your next turn. Well, if you get Death Touch, what do you need Menace for? That doesn't make no sense. All right. So, and then third, Reclaimed Zendikon. Create Reclaimed Zendikon token. Then each creature card in your hand gains X mana, and each land card gains Y mana. X is the number of black gems. Y is the number of green gems. Now, the Reclaimed Zendikon, now that's cool, but the Reclaimed Zendikon is actually the deal. It's a colorless support card, emblem land, 4 token. When you cast a creature, return the first creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That creature gets +X/+X, gains Berserk, and gains X mana. X is the number of black gems. We want a lot of black conversion, can you tell? When a creature you control dies, the first creature in your hand gets +Y/+Y, gains reach, and gains Y mana. Y is the number of green gems. So, yeah, the first creature in your hand gets +Y/+Y, gains reach, and gains Y mana. Neat. So we want green and black gems on there, and so that we can get this stuff done. Her mana bonuses are -1 to red and white, +2 to blue, and +4 to black and green. Obvi, because she's black and green. I'm very excited to go build her out. Let's unlock that pack, and let me go build out her deck.
The next day.
My friends, I'm a bit hungover from too much brew. No, not the drinking kind, but the actual scheming and strategizing and testing decks. That kind of brew. I have been in the lab testing and refining and trying to find a deck that really sings to Nissa's ability of Shadowed Boughs and really her third ability. Her third ability is the only one that matters. Okay, the other two I haven't even messed with. Maybe I'll take the second one if I don't have the third one, but if I have creatures in my hand and I have enough loyalty to do the third ability, I'm doing the third ability, always. Even if I already have it on the board, I'm just using it. So again, to recap, create a Reclaimed Zendikon token. Then, each creature card in your hand gains X mana, and each land card gains Y mana. X is the number of black gems, Y is the number of green gems. There's so much green conversion that other people are doing right now that I'm not going to really fight green conversion. Black conversion is really what matters. Because with Reclaimed Zendikon colorless support card token, when you cast a creature, return the first creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That creature gets +X/+X, gains Berserker, and gains X mana. X is the number of black gems. Okay? When a creature you control dies, the first creature in your hand gets Y/Y, gains reach, and gains Y mana. Y is the number of green gems on the board. So follow me here. Something hits the board. When it casts, it goes and gets a creature, right? From your graveyard. Very important. Más importante. And once it's in your graveyard, you bring this thing out, and let's say that it dies. Think of Uro-Crux. Remember my old Broodmoth combo? I sat and I labbed and I thought, what could we do this with? I literally found a poor man's Uro that actually will trigger this combo, because this is a pauper build. This is a complete pauper build. Let me show it to you. Allow me to introduce you to Gormand, 10 mana, flying, trample, 6/6 creature demon. When this creature enters the battlefield, destroy the first other creature you control. If you can't, destroy this creature. It's the only creature we have in the deck. Why? Because of Relic Vial. 8 mana for a 2-shield artifact. When you activate a loyalty ability, you may lose a creature reinforcement. If you do, draw a card. No big deal. When a creature you control dies or loses a reinforcement, if you control a cleric, your opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. But Goz, Senior Master, you said there was only 1 creature in this deck. How can we do that? He's not a cleric. Aha! Aha! Welcome Highborn Vampire, an 8 mana support card that's a vampire and a cleric. When you gain life, your opponent loses 1 life. At the beginning of each combat, the first creature in your party gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Don't even care about that. We care that it's a cleric, and it qualifies for the trigger ability of this bad boy. So Gore comes onto the board, he gets sacrificed, he dies, this counts as the cleric that's on the board. We take 3 life, we gain 3 life. They lose 3 life, we gain 3 life. But Highborn Vampire also, because we're gaining life, they lose 1 life. When you gain life, your opponent loses life. So they lose 4, we gain 3. That's basically the way this combo works. And it should work in a loop. Malefice Sith, 7 mana for a 2-shield support card artifact equipment when the support enters the board, or when the first creature you control dies or loses a reinforcement, reinforce the support. So while it's on the board, your first creature gets +X/+X. X is the number of the support's reinforcement. So if something dies, this gets bigger. The bigger this gets, the bigger your +1/+1 gets. Gather the Pack. We want stuff in the graveyard. 6 mana, spell card, green, move the next creature from your library to your hand. If there are 8 or more green gems on the board, move the second creature from your library to your hand. Then, in addition to that, destroy the next 4 creatures in your library. So we're putting 4 of our bad boys in the graveyard just with this 1 cast. Cultivate, 8 mana. You'll notice we're not playing Reclaim the Wastes. Why, guys? Because I want black gems. Convert 8 gems to your planeswalker's colors, then fetch the first land card from your library, gains half of its mana. Cool. The land cards we have. Do we have one? Yeah, we do. It's Land of War Waste. 8 mana for a support card enchantment. When the support enters the board, convert 6 gems to your planeswalker's colors. When the support is destroyed, pick one of the first 2 different land cards from your library, fetch that card. Doesn't gain any mana, but we get it. Land of War Waste, 6 mana, land, beginning of your turn, black and 1 black, 1 green gem, and Witch's Cottage, 10 mana for a land swamp. At the beginning of your turn, convert 2 gems to black. When the support enters the board, if there are 8 or more black gems, pick one of the first 4 creature cards from your graveyard, fetch that card, so we can start the deal if we don't have one on the board. And then finally, a little bit of draw, just to kind of dig through the deck a little bit better. 11 mana for a spell card, bad deal, draw 2 cards. Then your opponent discards 2 cards and loses 2 life. That discard ability really can play. So let's get to it. Let's see what this does. And we're going to be using this deck in the Hydra, Hero's Path Face the Hydra deal. Alright, so our focus here is just to get all of the pieces we need, which is, we actually don't want to cast this yet. We actually want to go get our other 2 creature, or our other 2 enchantment cards. There's a 5 swap. Alright, so let's do this. Some green and some red. Landfalls. But days, there's one of the pieces, and another Gather the Pack. Okay. We'll do it. Now, typically what you want to do, this is an event opponent, so I'm not really worried about him doing this as much. But typically what you want to do in stuff like this is you want to go charge up your cards that you need to pull your combos off and keep them in your hand. Mute them, and then go do that so that you're not risking getting them deleted off the board or something like that. Actually, we also want to get as much loyalty as we can to charge up our 3rd ability, because that's the one that's actually going to take us to the promised land. Yeah, we've got to have those 2 supports in play for us to actually make this work. There it is. We have all the pieces of the combo. Voltron is assembled, my friends. So let's get to it. Can we do this right now? Do we have green or black anywhere? And we have that. Get a land drop here and see what it does. And I'm not even worried. This has literally got, one of our friends in the group, Coalition. What's up, Duck? 13 Duck 13 got pulled Leafkin Avenger. Good for you, dude. Amazing. Alright, so let's get this on the board. Let's see if we can convert some colors to our own deal. Oh, this is going to be a good drop right here. Let's see what we get. And we're at our third ability, so here we go. Here it comes. Sure, confirm. Let's go get Llanowar Wastes. And I think we're square. I think we're ready to go. We have both Relic. Let's see, we got Relic. Oh, that's a Slayer. We got Highborn Vampire and Relic Vial. Yep, we're ready to go. Let's make it happen. The ceiling is the roof. So we hit Reclaimed. We charge up all the cards in our hand that are going to be that way. I go ahead and just ditch that bad boy. And we want to not match our green or black. Except that I just matched green. It's the black that really matters the most, because you see he hits the board, he dies. We do the damage, we gain the life. It triggers again. We bring another one out. That's the combo. And now we wait. And by my mathematics, we're doing about 24 points of damage per turn, or per notice of, hey, you know, the loop cycle, you want to stop it. I am not going to bore you with this, but just know this is the way the combo works. You can clearly see it working here. The neat thing about this combo is it's taking life from them, it's giving us life, so we're actually going to be at full health. And in events that you're playing that these objectives are important, especially cast creature objectives or kill creature objectives, this just basically does it for you. So I'm going to pause this until we actually get to the victory.
6 hours later.
Okay, so we're on our third charge, it looks like, or our third loop detection notification. And I think we have 3 more creatures coming out, maybe 2, and that will be game. Alright, so here we are. We're right at the end of the loop detection. We have 1 more creature to go through. It took 3 loop notifications for us to stop. That does the trick, and we wind up taking victory with full health and able to go from there. Fun build, fun little thing. The only thing I don't like about combos like that is that it takes so long for them to run. Instead of it just speeding through the loop, it just takes forever to get done, and it's so annoying. It's really, really, really annoying. Alright, this deck was fun-ish. That's not my OP build. Worked in a similar process, but consider Gourmand, he's basically a poor man's Uro. Let me show you what Uro can actually do. Oh. Okay.
Several bad puns later.
Welcome to Vela the Nightclad. She's a 16 mana menace, legendary 5/5 human wizard. While on the battlefield, your creatures gain menace. Very important sometimes. When a creature you control loses a reinforcement, dies, or is exiled, your opponent loses 4 life. Simple as that. That's what it does. What do we want to use for this ability? With our token, our Zendikon Rising on the board, we want to basically, again, gather the pack to feed the graveyard, drown in the lock, destroy the top 6 cards of each player's library. If there are 8 or more black gems, destroy target opposing creature that costs X or less. If there are 8 or more blue gems, drain X mana from the first card in your opponent's hand. X is the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard. So after a while, once we actually are using this card enough, they have stuff in their graveyard, we can actually go kill a creature if there's enough gems on it. It's more about putting stuff in our graveyard. We want to get Kroxa, 9 mana for the Titans of Death's Hunger, 9/9 for an 18 escape creature Elder Giant. When this creature enters the battlefield, if you don't control a card named Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, and if it didn't escape, destroy it. When this creature enters the battlefield or attacks, your opponent discards a card. If it's a non-land card, then they lose 6 life. When this card enters your graveyard from anywhere, create up to 4 graveyard gems. We have Kroxa, and then we have Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, 9 mana, 9/9 Elder Giant. Very similar to what Kroxa is, except when this creature enters the battlefield or attacks, gain 3 life and draw a card. Then the first land in your hand gains 6 mana. So it becomes something that when it enters the battlefield, if we do have a land in our hand, it actually does beef it up. The other things to round this out are we have Ruinous Ultimatum, just in case we need to clean up the board because it's a little bit of a slower strategy. Castle Locthwain to do a little black mana conversion. Magra Hauling to help keep control of the board, as well as, most importantly, give us land forming so we can transfer and convert black gems on the board for ourselves. Agadeem's Awakening, find this very interesting. If you use Agadeem's Awakening, it brings the 3 creatures up to the board. As long as Vela's on the board and the other 2 hit, they die right away again. It's hilarious. because they're not coming from the graveyard as escaped. They didn't escape. They basically just got brought out from the graveyard. So it starts the cycle all over again. It's great. Plus, it boosts your mana bonus, and in addition, your black mana bonus, and in addition to that, it gives you a token that converts to at the beginning of each turn. We've covered all of that. I think we've got it. And then Shadow Spirit, just for a little, just a wee smidgen of life gain, just in case we get ourselves into a pickle. With that said, that's the deck. Let's go take a shot at the next biggest Hydra that's coming up at us. Here we go. Let's take Avenger. I don't know what any of those do, but we're just taking the top one because that's what we want. All right, so we want to gather the pack. We want to get that done right away. Hopefully we'll draw Vela into our hands. And this is one of those ones where we don't need anything but our third ability. And we will go there. And our creatures in hand going. So we got a lot in the graveyard there. So we drew 2 creatures. And we want to trigger up to our third ability as quickly as possible. So I'm only going to be doing gems. There's Vela. And Vela. So we're going to actually even wait for that. And we're going to go... go here. Maybe we can drop in no green. We did. Alright, up to number 1 on our loyalty. In our DNA. So he's got 141 lives. Let's see how long it takes for us to actually do something with this. This is another one that's actually really good. After that. Let's see. Go here. Boom. Boom. Alright, so we've got something on the board. Ooh, down. I don't even know what we got down. We got 2 things. Actually, they're a conversion. Okay, so that's what they are. Alright. And yep, that's Castle Locthwain. That's the Avenger one. Alright, so she's good. But we still got to get our loyalty up. So I want to find some loyalty gems. And let's actually just go here. That's going to draw a card. We're going to take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. Now, this is the trick. You're thinking, oh, she's going to get pummeled by these other guys because they've got defenders. She's got menace. They can't block her. So she doesn't get hurt. I was scared of that the last time. I thought I accidentally did it and I had to hold it, but I accidentally casted it. And that's what it did. All right, so we're going to do these bad boys up here. Actually, let's go ahead and do that right away. And let's do that right away. So let's go here. Got to get up to our third ability. Alright, cool. And I believe I did a horizontal, so we should be able to kill one of these guys and get the land forming as well. Yes, yes, okay, cool. So now we've got some good mana conversion. And she had menace. How come she blocked? Interesting. Shouldn't happen. It's okay. It's alright. So we got our third ability ready to go. And it's kind of irrelevant when we don't need that, and we don't need that, and we might need that, but we don't really need that. So we're going to do our third ability. Bam, full power. And we want to use... We do not want to use our black gems here. We just want to use everything I see. Or you know what? Let's just play it safe. Let's just go here. And if we have to push for a turn, I'm fine with that. I don't want to break the black gems. All right, so there's another one. That dies. Not doing any damage yet. We're just triggering our deals. We're trying to find, what's-her-face? Vela. Hopefully this is Vela. I don't think it is. I think it's another Croxer or Uro. But what does happen here is that we draw a card, we gain a life, right? If we do get Croxa out, now when the creature dies, now this is the trick. This is how we got Vela out. When the creature dies, it gets the green gems and it gives that mana to the next creature. Well, we only have Vela. So now we actually start the cycle of destroying them. And Uro, when he comes on board, can gain us life, does the damage to them for 4 points of damage, and then this winds up going in a loop. So we not only take cards out of their hand and do extra damage with Croxa, but with Uro, we wind up getting life back, drawing a card. Now you would think your hand's going to be full, Goz. You're not going to be able to get the creature in your hand. The creature triggers first. So the creature comes from the graveyard first because of our Zendikon Rising token first. Okay, that's one. We say no. And this allows us to be able to get that creature and not draw the card. So once our hand is full, we still gain the 3 life. We still get the creature fully charged with the black gems that are on the board, and there's enough of them. And really, the only thing you need for this deck to go off is her third ability token, Vela, and then the two Titans. If you do that, even one of the Titans is fine, and those are the only two creatures you play, it'll work just the same. So we're going to let this run out, and then I'll come back and show you the ending.
6 months later.
All right, here we are. It took 3 turns as well on this one to get to the full power. Another side note, if your timer pops up to say, do you want to stop this loop, and your creature has not yet taken damage, the Titans haven't taken damage yet, you can hit yes to stopping it, and it'll keep those creatures on the board. They won't actually get sacrificed. It's pretty neat. So that's essentially how it works. What do you think of the build? What changes would you make? There's another version of the deck that I was going to test for you guys, but frankly, I think you get the picture. You get the token down, you only have Gyruda as your creature in the deck. So every time he hits the board, he creates he puts a bunch of cards in your graveyard, you get another Gyruda, and you just keep doing it over and over again until your Gyruda is big enough, and then you go swing for head. Nalthazar built a deck that's very similar to that. I'll post a link to his build down below. I think his is really good. You know I love combos, so this is a combo that takes that regurgitation, but actually instead of just building a creature big enough to swing, we just go do direct damage with it, and that's how it works. So what are my final thoughts on Nissa of Shadowed Boughs? Is she worth getting? Actually, I don't think so. I really enjoy Reanimator builds, and if you have the resources and it doesn't matter to you, knock yourself out, go get it. Frankly, I don't like loops that take so long to clear that you just wind up waiting around not doing anything. So that said, I would be very bored with this. I bought it. I'm going to play it from time to time. I'll try different combos, but I've got the combos out of my system. That's really what I wanted to do. They work, neat. At least at this stage in this meta, I would tell you if you want to get this or you're torn between this and maybe, obviously the big 3 or 4, Sarkhan, Tamiyo, Narset, or any of the tricolor walkers, go get those. Even Karn I would go get before this, because we can, really what's unique about Nissa of Shadowed Boughs is that she does have that 1/3 ability. She's the only one that has it right now. However, I haven't seen her Vanguard yet, and if the Vanguard does the same thing, I would rather get the Vanguard than use this, frankly. So if the Vanguard allows me to ultimate, and then I get the same token that does the same thing, neat. I wouldn't actually get her. I'd actually go get the card, because that card then is very flexible. I can go throw that card into Sarkhan, into Tamiyo, into even Vraska, like a green-black planeswalker that I actually think is underutilized is Vraska. I haven't done a side-by-side with them, but they're good. But I really like her because her first ability is very useful. People play supports. People play a lot of supports right now, and she just destroys supports. So if I had to give her a planeswalker rating, I'd say she's well beyond or well below a lot of the other 2-colored planeswalkers just in her own color schemes. I think Vraska, the lover of Jace, the tentacled lover of Jace, the pirate one, I think she's better than this. Garruk, Curse Huntsman, I think is better than this as well. So what are your thoughts, my friends? Let me know. As always, I appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to spend the last 30 minutes or so listening to me ramble on about Nissa. I think she's fun. If you've got the resources and you don't care, it's definitely a fun trick to pull off. But frankly, once you've done it, you're not really caring about it. So that said, did you enjoy today's video? If so, show me, my friends. Like, comment, let me know your gamer name. What coalition are you in? What other cards do you want me to break? As always, my party is always looking for new adventurers to quest with us. So subscribe. Hit the bell notifications. It really helps the channel out. I ain't getting paid for this yet, my babies. I got to hit over 1,000 subscribers as of yet. We're like 250 almost right now, 240, approaching 250. I've got a special promotion we're doing for it, so subscribe. Let me know what's going on. And listen, I haven't put together, I'll talk about it next time. I'm thinking about doing something like a Patreon or that kind of thing in the future, but I'll let you know the details in the next video. In the meantime, till our next quest, my friends, swords up.